Yo, Reali-T, your boy from Hackney, aka Black Guy in Your Neighbourhood, aka my mother's favourite rapper, and this is the In Your Neighbourhood podcast, baby. R.I.P. Black Rob. Yes.
What tune?
It's Reali-T, your boy from Hackney, aka Black Guy in Your Neighbourhood, aka my mother's favourite rapper, Dark Kent.
Don't seem like you got much energy today, T. What's happening?
Wait, I only had about 4 hours of sleep.
Why?
We're up watching that Ben Askren and Jake Paul fight.
What's my business with that one?
Actually, to even say that, apparently people stayed up, because I didn't stay up for it, but people stayed up ages for it, and half of it was just performances. What's going on?
What, like music performances and stuff like that?
Like Bieber, what's your bandmate from White Boy Summer? Not Chet Hanks, the other guy. Jack Harlow. Tyler Hero's in there as well, obviously. They're his bandmates. He was on. So apparently it was just like a glorified performance and then a 1-round knockout.
Yeah, it didn't look like it should have been stopped to me. Jake Paul won, bro. But he put Askren down, but Askren looked like he got up, just kind of took the 8 count, got up, looked like he was ready to go with his unorthodox self. Maybe that's why the ref stopped it, because he looked a bit,
Are they trying to present this Jake Paul guy as a legitimate fighter or something?
Yeah, but I mean, when you knock out someone who's been a MMA champion for years, it kind of gives him a bit more credibility, doesn't it?
Yeah, but Ben Askren got absolutely done in by Masvidal in 4 seconds, and since then I've never looked at the guy the same. So
yeah, I mean, the guy was never really that good with a stand-up anyway, was it? Like, he just used to take people down. Had a good chin though, which is surprising that he got knocked down the way he did off Jake Paul. So maybe Jake Paul is legit.
Tell you what though, he's a legit troll. Oh, he's got Twitter up in arms. Everyone's flaming. Imagine this. The site. Oh, Nate. No, we've already got Nate Robinson out of here, and now
that was nasty.
No, that hurt the black
was
community.
Nasty.
That hurt the black community.
That knockout.
That's time to move on to that
one. What's his name? Nate Robinson went on into that defending the punches with his head. That was terrible.
I can't even watch him jump over Dwight Howard in the dunk contest anymore.
Credibility all gone.
But the guy wasn't a fighter, innit?
But it's like, oh, you're gonna see who a real athlete is. Fair enough. He went and headbutted Jake Paul's gloves.
He was the basketball bouncer.
But is Floyd Mayweather facing Jake Paul?
No, he's older brother.
They all. Sorry, I need to stop saying that. I was going to say they all look the same.
But who, no one cares
Those
about
two
that.
do kind of look the same, though.
Yeah, they do. They are brothers. Yeah, man. Floyd Mayweather, Jake Paul, end of the year.
So who's the older one? Look at me asking these questions like I care, but who's the older one for the viewers and listeners?
Logan Paul.
Are you sure? Because you know what? Yeah, I always get confused between who's the older one between Skepta and JME.
Skepta.
Why are you doing the same like it's obvious? You know why? It is. Why it confuses me?
I think that one's obvious.
It's obvious, bro.
You know why? Because JME came out first. So I was like, how can the younger brother come out first?
You're not real. Sorry.
I always get confused between them. And Skepta kind of looks younger.
You think?
Yeah.
Nah, mate. This is just your poor reporting again.
Nah. I always get confused with Skepta and JME, man. There's a few I get confused with, but we won't even go into that. We're going to do our top 3 rap beefs. This one is top 3. And seeing as I'm feeling a bit edgy today, this afternoon, whenever you're listening. Top 3 rap beefs. Who wants to start this off?
T, take it away, man. As a veteran beefer yourself.
Listen.
The whole of the Northeast.
I just rap and people don't like it. That's the beef I've got. Oh yeah, and I forgot to introduce. This is episode 10. Oh God,
double figures.
We're here to stay. A decade of episodes.
Okay.
So yes. Wait a minute, I'm not a veteran of beef.
Yeah, you are.
Who have I had beef with?
I'm not saying names here. I don't want to kickstart anything.
You're a seasoned beefer.
You came out with How to Rob, mate. You came for the beef. You came for the war.
But the thing is, with that, I just wanted attention. And I did get the attention, maybe not the best energy.
All right, Tekashi 6.
But it was a strategic move. Then after that, I was like, listen, I don't swear in my raps. I'm a nice guy. I just go to work. Then suddenly, bad energy didn't stay far away. Word to Skepta.
You sound like everybody who's beefed. Like, who just says, it wasn't me. I was just trying to get about my way, and then he came for...
I mean, it was definitely rap beef that you had, wasn't it? It wasn't like beef.
Yeah. It was just rap beef.
Although it seemed like it was going to go beef. Didn't you have to like meet up with people and
yeah,
it could have gone left. It sounded like it was going to go left in that podcast that I heard.
Oh my God, that
the ambush.
That podcast, yeah, it was a whole ambush, yeah, and I don't even want to go into that because
who did you have in your corner though? Did you just go on your ones?
I had no, like I didn't think I had anyone in my corner, to be honest.
Really?
I mean, Jono was there. KT was there.
Ready
KT,
to pull out
I think, was in my corner, but Jono, like, he was just in the corner laughing.
KT was there. Was KT's boy there as well?
I'm not sure. I can't remember. It was all a blur.
I thought, maybe if you had the African militia with you, you were safe. Because them guys are like militant in it.
Nah, T would have got jumped that day.
Yeah, I would have definitely.
They would have joined in. Johnny would be given the elbow in the side.
Jono would have recorded it. Shout out Jono. Shout what's the name of their group? Mandingo Bay Warriors. Check them out if you haven't heard of them.
And shout out everyone who's beef tea.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go for the obvious one. Not my number one, but my first one. Tupac Biggie, because I had to change it because we were going through who our beefs were. So I had to change one of mine to Tupac.
Did Biggie diss Tupac? Or was it all just he did, but he never really like made it direct?
Mm-hmm.
I reckon, and God bless the dead and everything, I reckon Biggie was feeling himself and he probably got hyped up. Remember, these guys are like in early 20s.
Yeah.
So they might be like highly influenced by people around them and they don't want to look like suckers, as they would say in the 90s. I ain't no sucker.
Was Who Shot You for Tupac?
I don't think so, because it was recorded before Tupac got shot, innit?
Was it?
Yeah.
But then they still put it out.
But when he performed it, I think he was like,
it's subliminal.
Like it turned into a diss, basically. Yeah.
If the shoe fits.
Yeah. Because he was getting hyped up, according to the movies, which we all know are true. he was getting hyped up on stage. Oh, that N-word Tupac be dissing ya. This I'm just paraphrasing, by the way, verbatim. That N-word Tupac be dissing ya on these streets. And then Biggie was like, huh. Okay. Then
why did you sound like you're in slow-mo there?
Biggie was Rick Ross before the fame.
Then Biggie performed that track. In terms of who won, I mean, Tupac won, man. I mean, everyone lost because they both lost their lives. Rest in peace to both. But hypothetically, if they were both still alive, no disrespect to Biggie, no disrespect to Tupac, that hit 'em up track. He even dissed his own people on the track. Did you notice that?
But
imagine you go into the studio with Tupac here. Oh, brother Park, we're gonna make this diss track for Biggie, yeah. And Biggie is in the studio. I mean, Tupac is in the studio, all hyped up, and it goes, "I'm gonna let my little N-words ride on you." And you're in the studio like, what? I'm a little. wait, we didn't plan this, Mr. Shakur. Like, I thought we were in this together. What? I'm not a little guy. Like, you feel like inadequate. First time I heard that, I was like, and they're gonna rap after he said that. That's the first ever time I heard that. I was like, oh, okay. So they're just little guys. Maybe they're on the payroll. So yeah, Tupac won that for me, even in the long run. Just off that track, one of the most iconic hip hop diss tracks of all time.
Yeah, man.
Let's go on to my second one. Chip versus Stormzy. You know what? I'll save that for the third one. And I'll tell you why. Secondly, Jay-Z versus Nas.
Yeah, I can't argue Jay-Z versus Nas, but you know,
neither can I.
I think I don't know if it was the best of beefs. Like, didn't Nas take time to reply? And
I think,
but the iconic tracks are on there, and the two iconic artists, so you can't really argue with it.
Yeah.
But however, talk more about Stormzy and Chipman. I want to know why that's in your top three.
Oh, first, let me finish with the Jay-Z one and Nas one. That beef is still going on.
Nah, stop.
As we said on the last podcast, or one of the previous ones, Jay-Z is one of the most petty rappers of all time. Continues to stay petty. Nas brings something out, Jay-Z's got a release. Nas signed to Jay-Z's label. Jay-Z just stays with his foot on these guys' necks. Jay-Z won that beef.
Jay-Z won the beef, or Jay-Z is just the one that sort of...
Nas won the battle, Jay-Z won the war.
That's what I was going to say. So you can say Jay-Z won the war, yeah, but the beef, Jay-Z did not win that. The beef.
Firstly...
The battle is the beef.
Firstly, Takeover, for me, was a better track. More easier for my ears.
Oh my God.
Ether, yeah, was nice. It was nice. It was nice at the time. Jay-Z's one was more catchy.
But didn't Jay-Z put out Super Ugly first?
No, he put out Super Ugly. Was not after.
Yeah. He may have shot himself in the foot a bit with that one, and the crying on the radio.
But that was the response. that was the response
to Ether.
Yeah, so like everybody who's
so Takeover came out first.
Takeover was on 2001 Blueprint. Ether was on Stillmatic.
So which one came out first between those two?
When did Stillmatic come out?
I feel like Takeover was a response to Ether, wasn't it? Because
the beef was so iconic that we can't even remember when the diss tracks came out.
They just form into one.
I swear it was the other way around. Like, as in Ether was, yeah.
According
Ether came
to the
out December 18th.
Jay-Z responded to Ether with "People Talking, Don't You Know" and freestyle entitled "Super Ugly."
Yeah, exactly.
So Jay-Z had to come out with how many songs just for Ether?
Exactly.
So Takeover came out before.
Yeah,
Ether.
I think then Ether, and then Jay-Z tried to respond, and it didn't really go down too well.
And Ether came out 6 months after Takeover.
No, it's no Chip, but anyway.
That's a bit of an L to wait that long, though. To be honest,
it's not. You're not 40. I don't think it is. Not back in the day. This isn't the argument I'm going to make. This is the argument I'm going to make of my Chip one. But I think back in the day, like there was time.
6 months is a bit much, though.
Yeah, but he still came back with an absolute banger.
He did. And I think Ether was a better track than Takeover.
I think so too.
We'll agree to disagree on that.
But it was a bit long.
It's a better diss track. It's one of the best diss tracks.
You made it a hot line. I made it a hot song, man. That's still said to this day.
Yeah, but didn't Nas have Tupac saying "fuck Jay-Z" on the track?
Exactly.
Or Tupac.
But something that's ingrained in culture. Is just that line? I could just pick up that line.
E3rd is a definition in itself.
That's true.
Because of that, like, if you got bodied, you got E3rd.
That's true. But Jay-Z won. He won the war. I mean, you can't beef with someone, ether them, and then sign for their label. What kind of man? Beta. Kind of man are you?
No, don't do it. Baby. No, don't do it.
Oh my God.
No, don't do it. I'm a virgin.
Sorry, I wasn't meant to play that.
That sounds just so 40's face before we went off. I'm just confused.
My finger pressed the wrong button. Third one. This is gonna cause a bit of controversy. Chip versus Stormzy.
Yeah,
I'm picking this one mainly as a conversational piece where I saw the urban culture, the hip hop culture, the grime culture once again let me down, especially on Twitter. I saw, remember those times of war dubs, clashes, where the man would respond on the spot. And okay, let me look at this scenario. Hypothetically, let's just look at this scenario. Wiley Skepta, Lord of the Mics, they're going at each other. Skepta spits his, 64, 32 bars. And Wiley says, I'm going toilet, and doesn't come back. And then the crowd says Wiley won because he didn't respond.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Because Wiley's bigger. Because he That's what I saw with the Chip versus Stormzy beef. And I'm just looking at everyone. I asked my sister. I was like, I had to text her, you let me down. Just because you're a Stormzy fan, just because you fancy the guy, he beat Chip because he's bigger. What's happened? What's happened to our culture?
People are actually saying that.
Yes.
Bro,
yes.
How does that work?
200%. People are saying Stormzy won that beef with Chip, and Chip was trying to promote his album that was which musician, if you're a musician and you're not trying to promote music, then you shouldn't be a musician. Simple as that. You need to find every way to market yourself. So I don't get why I just don't get it. But what do you guys think?
I don't think it's a beef. I think it's literally subliminals, and it's literally like they've gone at each other. Yes, Chip has put the marker down and
Chip bodied him. Chip bodied him.
Yeah, but he put the marker down and said, right, you want to talk and you want to pull up, because this is like, it's a problem, but you want to pull up, so let's take it into a rap beef. So I should rephrase that and say, I don't think it's a rap beef, because if it's a rap beef, Stormzy should reply to what Chip has said. So that's why I understand it as a conversational point, but in terms of a top 3 beef, I'm like, it's not a rap beef. Where's the rapping?
I cheated a little bit because I wouldn't say we're not going to be talking about Stormzy versus Chip in 20 years' time.
Unless Stormzy responds, because you know what, as in 40, you said like, oh, it might take too long or whatever, which is a fair point. But if Stormzy responds
with fire
in the next month or whatever, like it's gonna blaze up again.
I think Stormzy did respond with just features on different tracks and things like that.
That's subliminals. That's not. Like...
Yeah, I think there's a couple of other tracks he might have said some stuff on as well that was aimed at Chip, but he's trying to like take the high road, isn't he? You know, and like he's the bigger guy and all of this. But
more power to him.
You just have to go for the music and just have the sport, man.
Yeah, if
you can't say you're the king of grime.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And not respond to someone dissing you.
I agree with that. But
grime is not a soft genre. This is why I don't go in the studio, and I wouldn't call myself a grime artist, just like I wouldn't call myself a drill artist. Because these guys, they're gritty. They're like, enjoy the beef. Like there are some grime MCs back in the day that just beef. They don't make love songs. They don't make like it's literally just beef. That's what they go in the studio to diss people. And you're calling yourself the king of grime, and someone disses you.
Yeah, but you're not the king of grime then. Like for us, you're not the king of grime. You can't come out and say that. I don't think anybody in the right mind can say that Stormzy has won that beef. They can say that Stormzy's their favorite artist and that, you know, he's not replying because he's bigger than Chip. Yeah. So
is Stormzy saying he's the king of grime? Like, is that his claim? I don't know if that is his claim.
He said that after the Wiley beef. During the Wiley beef.
No, you can't say that after the Wiley beef.
Especially with Wiley.
He said that after that, and people were like, yeah, you know what? He's came out, he's bodied Wiley.
He didn't body him.
He didn't even beat Wiley.
Bodied. Not me. Help me.
No, I understand. Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. But yeah, like after that though, so people are like, well, Chip's standing up now. Stormzy's the king of grime, but he hasn't said anything. So then he's not the king of grime.
What's disappointing? So disappointed. What's disappointing is if Stormzy actually responded, I think this could have been an excellent one.
It still can.
Yeah,
I think Stormzy would have got beaten just because Chip's ruthless.
Chip is relentless,
and I think he's
man.
maybe took the decision, you know, this one's better just to sit out.
It's fine to do so.
Yeah.
But like then nobody could ever say exactly. No one could ever say anything, and no one could be like and everyone could debate it, but no one could be like, that was such a great beef. Bro, where?
Man, before we move on to Busy or 40's top 3, I just want to say, you lot on Twitter, it's Twitter, man. You lot are making this culture soft. Mate, like, obviously myself, I'm not one to say that because, you know, I don't swear in my raps or nothing. But from the rap I used to know, sounded like the get off my lawn guy. To someone not responding, and you guys are even saying, even if you're trolling, don't troll. Just shush. You guys should have been blocked. Never you say Stormzy won that beef, even with Wiley. Just shut up your mouth. Who's next? Who's the top? Who's next?
I'll go. So it's not in any order really, but Drake and Meek Mill is one that I'm picking.
That was fun.
Yeah. It was fun, and I feel like it changed a narrative on two sides. And there was actual rap to it. Like Drake, I mean, it was even like last week, I only realized that the song that Drake did with Meek Mill on his album actually had a reference to, like, he got the reference of someone else to that. I didn't know that one. So that's another thing to throw in and say, bro, even on a track that he was like proper rapping on somebody else's feature, it was actually ghostwritten for him. It's insane. So like just everything that happened there, social media getting involved, the back-to-back being played in the clubs,
the memes.
And then to be fair to Meek, after he absolutely flopped on his response, he came back and he had some solid disses back to Drake.
It was too late, tracks. Didn't it?
It was too late. He took like back-to-backs getting played everywhere in the clubs. It came like a year or so after, but they were actually pretty solid. Drake also came back with a few shots. So it lasted a good while. But what it's done now is sustain Drake's entire legacy, rightfully so. So I think in terms of looking back at a classic beef, I think it's definitely one to put up there in terms of modern day as well.
Busy, can I ask you this quickly? And this is for 40 as well. Because I was just thinking that because with social media these days, it's you win if you're more popular. Simple as that. No frills about it. You win the beef if you're more popular. That's how, again, I'm going to say it, Stormzy won without even uttering one word to Chip. Did you think Drake, because personally, I think Drake won it. However, if it was in the times of like the 90s, where social media wasn't even a thing, say like, and I'll switch it around in a minute, but do you think if it was back in the 90s, Drake would have won it would have bodied it this
it's
much?
It's a good question, because I don't even know if back in the 90s Drake would have been like what he is. Because people would have gone, ghostwriters, fuck off.
Yeah.
They'd have gone, like back to back, like the landscape changed. And even me as someone who likes all that kind of traditional hip hop stuff, was like, now that diss track was getting played in the club, it had like a sing along in it, the memes, even I'm saying, that was the better track. But I think if it had been before everything changed, and the internet took its hold, and social media and everything, that song might have been considered to be a bit soft.
Soft, yeah.
I think it probably would have considered to be a bit soft, but like his first one before that, Charged Up, was pretty good. Again, it wasn't sort of as bouncy and as straight to the point. It's like it's your girls tour or your world tour, whatever. But it was a good diss track. It's the fact that Meek didn't come back with anything that made everything blow. So yeah, social media had a hand, but even to that point, everyone's like, Meek's a battle rapper. He's gonna come back, and it's gonna be a good beef. Yeah. Meek came back and flopped it. Like he flopped. So that's why I think even back in the day, when it comes to rap, Drake probably still would have won the battle. But people would have probably would have not taken the hype as much, and people wouldn't have seen back to back for what it was as they do now. But it's still back to back, sort of like the soft version of the Ethers and hit 'em ups, and that it's direct. It's just that it's bouncy and it's soft.
Made for this era.
Yeah.
It's easy for people. What going on from 40's point, I think correct me if I'm wrong, what 40 was trying to say as well, would it even get to that point? Soon as the claims are made in those times, as soon as the claims are made that you have a ghostwriter,
people would have got Drake out of here.
He would have been finished.
People would have got him out of it, and I think others would have been more vocal about it, which I think is one thing that hasn't really happened. Like this, why I think this is such like a classic beef as well, is because it stemmed to like the Pusha T beef. Because Pusha T's vocal about it. He's like, you can't chat to me when you didn't even write your own rhymes. I think more rappers and more people would have got him out of it, like 40 said, at the point of hearing that he's a ghostwriter. They'd be like, nah, what are you doing in this scene? And more people would have been vocal about it.
Yeah. And flipping it quickly before we go on to your is it your second one? Yeah, sorry. Because you can tell we love beef.
Oh yeah.
This whole podcast, we're just gonna make this podcast just about beef.
Just beef. It's a beef called beef.
It's a beef special. It's a beef episode 10 beef special.
But I think switch it round. Jay-Z and Nas beef. If it was made during the social media era, Jay-Z would have won that clear. Just because Jay-Z's more popular. So I'm being serious. Listen, the culture. I have no faith in this culture. No, I have no faith in it. I'm gonna say Stormzy was in the toilet and didn't come out and didn't write a diss track for Chip, and he won the beef according to some people. And you're telling me Jay-Z wouldn't have?
You're following Stormzy fan pages, bro.
Nah. I'm following Twitter. I'm just Twitter.
He's following the whole of Twitter. Yeah, every single user.
Because bro, people are on Stormzy's neck. People are on Stormzy's neck. Of course, there's the fans who don't like. I mean, beef's open to everybody, but let's be real. Like, some people won't understand beef in the way that they understand beef. Like, people say Drake won over Pusha T because Pusha T said blah 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 about Drake's kid. People know that Chip bodied him, and people are like, yo, Stormzy, he can't come out and say anything anymore unless he's gonna rap. The mainstream fans might come out and say, oh yes, Stormzy's the better artist, but so what? I mean, who cares about what they say, to be honest? So the same people who might say, oh yeah, Jay-Z won off Takeover and all this stuff, when Ether comes out, it's still gonna be a body. And yes, James is the better artist, but Ether's still a body.
Yeah. And
people are gonna be taking the words off Ether, I think, quite like the same as Zoe back to back, and be like, Eminem killed you on your own ish. Like, it's still got relatables. So I think social media in that sense did really still help. Yeah, he did. I think social media would still help Ether in that sense. Because it was such a
you have a point. You have a point. Jay-Z kind of shot himself. You know, Jay-Z, he reminds me of if I was trying to act hard on the streets. And I think he was overdoing it. You know when you're overdoing it, especially on the second track he sent, where he was like, he's gonna I'm just paraphrasing. He's gonna sperm on the child's car seat. Remember he said that? That was too much, man. I was like, Jay-Z, man, like gangsters don't do that. I'm sure they don't. Like, he's just thinking what a gangster would do. But Beezy, what's your second one?
Yeah, let's move it on. My second one is Chip and Bugsy, UK beef.
Yep.
Another pretty modern one. Bro, I just feel like this one, like, it changed things a lot. And again, it was one of those where social media had a hand to play. But like, it was like, when you think about it, it was like a story in itself. Like Chip's coming off mainstream, oopsie daisy Chip, whatever, Chipmunk. And then he decides to try and beef a few man, whatever. And then one guy stands tall in Bugsy. And to be fair, Bugsy was quick to the point, was straight on it, went down to Tottenham, did the track there, and kind of had Chip on the ropes in a sense.
Yeah.
Then there's the long wait, which, like I say, at that point, Bugsy's done everything. Like, he's made himself an artist. So he's capitalized on this beef. And then Chip comes and, like, I guess at that point you can say, like, Chip was on Bugsy's neck.
Like a dog with a bone. And then that changed a lot. For me, yeah, I think when we think of UK beefs, like Dubs, like one of my favorites, like Gets and P Money, back to back straight away, or like the Lord of the Mics. Yeah, those are instant. But a lot of beef sort of, there was subliminals and when that instant. Chip sort of changed that. Chip changed that, especially with social media, where people now are expecting Stormzy to reply to Chip in 24 hours, 48 hours. Crazy.
Drake is replying to Pusha T in 24 hours. And then we know that Drake is, he's got a UK passport and them ones. So he's into
he knows
what's going on. I think Chip has changed the beef game where like impatience is there and social media is on top of it. It's like, you've got to reply now.
Add to that busy. It's a microwave culture now. People want stuff quickly.
Yeah. Exactly.
So if you're not replying in 2 weeks, they're like, oh, it's too late. Which is different from
but when Chip is so on it as well, and he sort of puts it out there, like Bugsy drops something, he's like, I'm writing now, 11 hours, petrol station, I'm at the Shell, and then he's got the video out.
Yeah.
It's like, now we expect that as a norm in a sense when it comes to beef, that like, it can be done. So y'all get to it. Grab your pen. So like, I think that beef, and then at the end of it, both of them are thriving. Like Bugsy's got his own career. They're cool now, and Chip is left that thing of Chipmunk, Chip Diddy Chip, and people are like, he's a barer. Like, don't mess with Chip.
Yeah.
So I feel like that beef itself is just.
Can Chip say he birthed Bugsy Malone?
No, I don't think he can. But Bugsy will always be tied to the beef.
Did the Chip beef make Bugsy bigger?
Nah.
You don't think so?
Nah, not at all. I think it completely hindered his rise, and he had to take a bit of a look. The Bugsy's like got industry support in it.
Yeah, he
basically,
does.
And I think he was just on an increase. Because I think he had the streets and he had the industry like side of things, and I don't mean industry as in like the popular music, as in like chart stuff, but you had the support from people in slightly higher places. And then I think when the Chip beef come out, I think he lost a little bit of the kind of more street side. Not saying he's not legit like that, but I mean like in terms of the people who listen for the the responses and maybe the disses and the sends and the replies, all of that. I think Chip kind of knocked him down a peg there, and it took him a minute just to get back on with the ascension.
I think that was, you're right. I think that was especially like Chip's second coming in a sense, because that first round where Chip went quiet for like 6 months, Bugsy released like an EP, and you sort of viewed as
that was Chip's like fourth coming, bro. Chip just keeps coming back, man. Like, because I know, and you're saying like, oh, Chip from Oopsie Daisy, and then he come with that. There's a lot in between that, and there's a lot before that as well.
But they weren't checking him like this, like in terms of Chip being the diss guy. Because after this, it's different.
No, they weren't. You're right. That's why I'm saying it's like this fourth coming.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right.
But there was stages before that even.
Right.
You know what? You know what? I don't think Chip gets the respect he deserves. I'm sorry.
Chip's probably in my top 3.
He's a Grime legend.
Oh, of course, yeah.
He's a Grime legend.
Yeah.
That's probably Wiley gets in Chip.
Before he turned 30, the guy was a Grime legend.
Yeah.
And that's scary. And the fact, you know what? You know the scariest thing? The guy's getting better, in my opinion.
He's the most
versatile. I think he's got everything. He can do everything.
He's the most versatile, for me, like, he's one of the most versatile artists, like, out now.
Didn't
like,
he jump
I'm not even talking UK, I'm talking everywhere.
that track with back row G.
On drill, he gets on whatever. He's done it all. Like he has done it all.
Chip,
and
man.
he's got a classic beef in him.
He's done the industry stuff. You know, even back then when you were younger and you saw Chip with Chris Brown, and you're thinking, what the? This like, and then because you never really saw that like British from the streets young black artists, just like Chris Brown. Wait, what? Like, where did this come from? He deserves even respect for that. I'm not gonna like, even though Bugsy dissed him about it. Like no one just goes to America and does that.
But Bugsy did hold his own when he did bring stuff like that up. It's just like as Forty says, the forthcoming or whatever, whenever Chip decided, you know what, like F this, like I'm gonna absolutely like kill him in a week and put them on 3 of the biggest YouTube grime channels out.
That was
separately
strategic as heck.
And on different genres as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just gonna absolutely spin you. And just everything, the intricacies was just like, at that point, it was like, I think for Bugsy, it's like, right, you probably want to cash out. Like, bet 365 cash out. But
you know what makes this guy more iconic before we go to your third one? Oh, we love this beef topic, man. We haven't even reached your third one. Chip. I can't see someone rapping in a petrol station with no car and not think of Chip.
Oh yeah, exactly, bro. Like he's changed the game in that sense. Like even when he came back as Stormzy, and none of us knew what was happening. Like I think the video of Stormzy pulling up outside of Chip's house, which is hilarious. Like I think that just came out or something.
Yeah.
And then all you saw was Chip picture at the petrol station
with no car.
You're like, what's beef? Again?
boss man at the window, like, what's going on here? Is he gonna pay or what?
Mate, I do wonder that. I'm like, yo, just like, is it he just goes like to different shells and they're like, oh, the Chip's coming. It's like, all right.
The fact the subliminal that it's called Shell as well, that he was at the Shell petrol station. Oh, let's not Chip, man.
That's why he was there, bro.
Lyrical G. G.
Shellington Crescent. Kings get beheaded.
Yes.
My top 3, I mean, okay, it's probably quite short and sweet, I guess. 50 Cent Ja Rule. Bro, it speaks for itself, doesn't it? But for me, it's just like everything to that beef, and not even trying to get into like
wait busy. Sorry to cut you off again, but just your verdict on who won the Chip versus Bugsy beef.
Yeah. Apologies.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, Chip won the beef. Chip won the war.
Okay.
Like, but shout out to Bugsy and that, like you say, industry ties and everything that was there. Still capitalized on it. Still put out some sick things, and he still sort of rode the wave. And even when he went down, he's still been able to sort of have he's got a core fan base. What more can you want, really? So
definitely.
And now the friends again. So. Go back to Ja Rule 50 Cent. Yeah,
I'm not even gonna ask you who won this one.
Keeping just the violence aside, just the fact that like even back in like when it first started, like Ja and Murder Inc. were coming strong. Like they weren't playing about. There was like Ja released a spoonful of disses that were pretty hard at 50, and then I mean, Great Richard Die Trying came out. Have you ever seen it? Yeah, there's a I think there's a video of like Ja, like an interview of Ja saying like when he and the Murder Inc. crew first heard of like In the Club, and then sort of Get Richard Die Trying came out, just how they knew that there was a problem on their hands. And then like that just, I mean, the mixtapes after that, Eminem, G Unit getting involved, it just it became hard on Ja, but he held his own. Like he still came back.
Once he got Eminem involved, it was like flipping no man.
And that's
like,
just the rapping side.
He's already dead.
That's exactly. And that's just the rapping side of it. And then of course, like, I mean, 50 Cent won the battle, won the war.
Still keeps dissing him. We'll never forgive him.
Still going on.
I think they were on a plane together or something.
Yeah.
Plane almost crashed. I'm joking. Didn't. But you know, like they were on the plane together, but they kept it civil, innit?
Yeah. I mean, I mean, you can fight on a plane, I guess. But
yeah. So who won the beef between 50 Cent and Ja Rule?
Bro.
40, what's your top 3?
Or what's 40's opinion? What do you think of? I mean,
true.
I kept it very short and sweet, but I mean,
yeah. Don't really need to say much, innit?
That's it. Like, I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, 50 Cent had obviously like more industry behind him in it as well. Got like
1000%.
Yeah.
Eminem,
He had the streets as well.
D12, G Unit, you know, all these people, Obi Trice, DMX starts joining in. You know, it's just like they just got ganged up on in it.
Ja did get ganged up on, like.
Yeah, and then you've got Ja Rule doing songs where he's singing, like it was all very like commercial songs, and 50's coming out as like the gangster.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyways, moving on. Yeah, for me, so I was going to say 50 Cent versus like the whole of New York, just because I liked some of the diss tracks that came out of it. I liked Jadakiss, was it Checkmate?
Yeah. He
flipped the animal.
Cent.
Yeah. That's one of the hardest diss tracks ever.
Yeah.
Jizza had a diss track that came out that was sick as well.
You know that name? No disrespect to the God, but I've always found that name uncomfortable.
Jizza. Okay. I'm not sure if people back then used to refer to ejaculation as jizz, you know. But
didn't he have an album called Liquid Swords as well?
Fam, nah, you're not doing this.
No disrespect to the God.
Nah, you're not doing this. That's a classic, man. You're not doing that to
that. Liquid Swords.
Nah, you're not doing that.
Telling us something.
No, nah, bro. Nah. You're not doing that.
That's funny, you know. I never thought of that.
No, but don't think about it, 40. Just you haven't thought of it. Of course,
you can't listen to the album now without
don't think about it.
Jizza stabbed 50 Cent with his liquid sword.
Oh, flipping.
But anyways, yeah, man. Anyway, yeah. So that was one of them. That threw me off a little. Yeah.
When 50 Cent piggy bank, clickety clank, clickety clank. I always found that hook funny. It sounded funny to me. Clickety clank, clickety clank. Money goes into my piggy. I don't know if he was trying to sound
I'm not sure if that was the accent he was doing it in, but you just remixed it.
Afrobeat remix.
Yeah, but number 2, like I said, no order really, and I was keeping mine a bit broader because I couldn't narrow them down. But when it was kind of BBK versus Movement. There's a whole host of tracks there, you know, Wiley and Devlin, Wiley and Getz, Skepta and Getz were kind of taking some shots at each other. That was fun as well.
Devilman and Skepta.
Well, Devilman and Skepta was a different one.
Okay.
That was Lord of the Mics, but I was saying Devlin.
Oh, Devlin.
Yeah, because Devlin was part of the movement in it.
He just got thrown into that. Like, spit your bars.
Yeah. Why? To be fair, Devlin was probably one of the few people at the time that was kind of getting the better of Wiley. Like that was people's opinions, but that was a fun one as well. And I think when you hear them talk now, they say it was music.
Yeah.
Like, and it's good. Cool. It's good for that, and I like that about Grimes. You know, I know sometimes it goes left, but you know, being able to clash and whatnot, it's good. It's sport, man. And then number 3. Probably say Cannabis and LL Cool J.
Oh, you went proper back. You went back.
Yeah, man. That was. I could have gone further back, but you know, I'm conscious of who's listening.
I was thinking of like Boogie Down Productions.
Yeah, but to be honest, I wasn't listening to the music when that was released.
No,
I've got to be honest. It's stuff I've heard afterwards.
Yeah.
And thought, you know, this was a interesting beef. There's some good tracks come out of this, but I've got to talk about stuff I was actually like there for the moment. Do you know what I mean? That was cool. You know, Cannabis coming with the second round knockout with Mike Tyson. Interesting.
How did that start? Was because I heard it was a
they
thing,
were on the same track.
Yeah.
And then Cannabis said about, I'll take the mic off your arm, and LL Cool J had the mic tattooed on his arm, and he took it the wrong way, which, to be fair, It sounds like it would be took the wrong way. Cannabis was sick, man, but he just got a bit too wordy, I think. You know, he was like master thesis and you know,
listening to too much Keith Murray.
Nah, he was way past that. Keith Murray was like cool with it. Yeah, Keith Murray had the long words and that, looking like he was.
He just read the dictionary before
he
got in the studio.
But Cannabis was taking it next level, and then obviously he kind of beefed Eminem in it a little bit, and Eminem kind of clowned him for it, and then. That's what, you know, when Eminem did that freestyle and he was like, lyrical, miracle, spiritual in your swimming pool or whatever he said. I think that was taking shots at Cannabis, wasn't it? Yeah.
You know, it's tough to go at Eminem, even now, because of just the industry backing and the fan base. It's just tough to go at Eminem. Like, you'd be stupid. It's a suicide mission.
Just as a side point, I don't really listen to Eminem these days. Yeah, like the first couple of albums, but that Kill Shot, I know I've said my 3, but that Kill Shot was a top tier diss track.
That was top tier. That was like old school.
That was top tier, yeah.
Just a quick one on Grime beefs going personal, and none of us has mentioned it. Dizzy versus Wiley.
Yeah.
That's a big one. That got ugly. And I think it still is ugly. I don't think they'll ever.
I think they just fell out in it over whatever happened ages ago, and then Dizzy was in it for a bit with the disses, you know, don't make me get old school and all that.
Don't make me get old school.
Yeah, man, but then I think he got tired of it and he just wanted to move on and have people stop asking him about it. Yeah. And then Wiley just obviously is Wiley.
Wiley never gets tired.
He doesn't get tired, does he?
Never.
Nah,
I don't even think he sleeps.
Keeps bringing it up.
Yeah. Who won on the beef between the movement and BBK?
I don't know. You know, it was just one of them where it was just there was good tracks here and there. I don't know, like I was saying earlier, Wiley and Gets are probably my 1 and 2 Grime MCs, if I was rating Grime MCs. So, you know, when you hear them two with tracks and you see the footage of them clashing and whatnot, it's difficult to split it apart, to be honest. And I think people were split. You know, generally, if you went on the internet or whatever, people were split for who won that one.
Who won between Cannabis and LL Cool J?
I think people say LL Cool J did, you know.
I don't think I was really.
But I don't really know. Like, Cannabis is kind of known for those couple of tracks. That's the thing. But LL Cool J's just got such a legacy.
Yeah, man.
People just said LL Cool J won that one. I think
is the guy. Right,
yeah, man.
Has there been a beef that 50 Cent has lost? Genuine question.
50 Cent.
For you,
for me, Jadakiss and
man.
Jizza both had tracks. I mean, he didn't respond to Jizza really. But if you're just looking at the music, they were hard. But I don't think 50 was really beefing with like all the people he was mentioning and going at from New York and all that. I don't think he was really like, it wasn't really beef, was it? Like, he was just doing the marketing thing.
He was just having fun, man.
He was just trying to get the exposure up. The more people were talking about him, the more people were paying attention to him. It was just clever. Obviously, I think the stuff with Ja Rule had history and whatnot, so it was a little bit different.
And stuff like the game.
The game one, I wonder if that was just a bit of a setup, you know.
Really?
On who?
Well, just from record labels.
Oh, so wait, do you think they were all in it together?
Yeah, maybe.
Because for 50 Cent to forgive someone he's had beef with, because him and the game are cool now, isn't it? Allegedly.
To an extent.
But
like,
I don't know. I think that's all kind of. Well, who knows? Maybe. I don't know what actually happened with that. Like, I heard there was some actual altercations and stuff. I seen the game saying somebody should have died. We both should have died during that beef and stuff. But he's just extra.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at death. It's just the game.
There's certainly like violence to it, because I think this like pulled up a New York radio station that like the game was at, allegedly. But I think I think it's probably the case of like it was probably set up in a sense, and then it just became serious.
All the record labels set it up and let them just crack on with it.
But then it just became to a point where it got serious, and then this is just whatever. But I guess that's more of a diss or beef than like say when 50 was just poking and people come back in the battles in the New York battles and stuff like that. Which is probably what BBK was like battles. Because I mean, bloody Skepta and Wiley went at each other, just sort of within that time frame as well.
Well, they've done that a couple of times, which always makes me think that's set up as well.
Yeah, I think it's like, a battle. I think it's like let's just rap.
The first one where Wiley put out Race Against Time and Skepta put out Microphone Champion, I think it was. That was for sure set up because there was they were just releasing albums at the same time, and then after like 2 months they were cool and it was all BBK again. The second time around, I'm not sure. Maybe that was just Wiley being Wiley.
Coming out of left field. I never took the game seriously, by the way, and I don't think 50 Cent did either.
That first album was sick from the game, but after that, I don't know.
No, in terms of beef, like I've never taken. Okay. The guy just jumps on anything, like, oh, you diss someone from LA. Oh, I'm the game.
He does
diss someone from LA. Like you stole Kendrick's chain. Apparently, he got Kendrick Lamar's chain back from someone. Like the game's like the ambassador of LA, of Compton.
The game's slightly corny, right?
Yeah,
because he'll just shout. Because like he'll shout people's name, like he'll shout anybody's name out on a track and whatever. Like he's clearly sort of like looking for something.
Yeah,
might have like tried to sort of take it from sort of a bit of an Eminem style of thing, but just he tries to put a bit of street cred to it. But yeah, like his first albums, like I think he's like, for me anyways, I think like his first 3 were really good. After that, it was kind of like whatever. Yeah. But that was at the time that the beef was still sort of whatever beef was going on with like G-Unit and stuff like that. So he's still getting looks in. He's still doing mixtapes, and people are still looking at this G-Unit game beef. So probably has helped him in that sense as well.
Saying that quickly, we'll move on. Saying that the game consistently brings out good projects, mixtapes, albums, consistently good. Maybe not like top tier. But they're always on a good level. Solid. Jesus Peace album should have been a classic.
That's actually a really good album. Yeah, I think it is anyway.
I think Jesus Peace is a great album. But moving on from that intriguing conversation about hip hop, grime, rap beef, and we're gonna go into something a bit more controversial. You know, Tupac and Biggie had a beef. Come with me on this journey. Notorious B.I.G. was part of the Bad Boy record label run by who? Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Sean Combs, whatever other AKAs has he got?
Dude Love. What was that?
Dude Love.
Wasn't it Brother Love?
I fell right into that one.
Same one, mate. No, I was actually being genuine. I didn't know.
It was something Love, wasn't it?
I think Dude Love's a wrestler.
he is. Yeah. So I don't even know what his name is now. Sean from the Block. Anyway, so
she's single.
So we're gonna talk about something called the Bad Boy Curse. Is there a Bad Boy Curse? Shout to Black Rob, just passed away.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Black Rob. Whoa.
R.I.P.
What's actually happened with Bad Boy? So you got like Biggie.
Yeah.
Obviously. Shine got locked up for a long time.
That one's still controversial. Should P. Diddy be in jail? Go on for you.
Did G-Dep get locked up for a long time as well?
I think so. Wait.
Yeah. You've had Craig Mack.
Flavor in your ear.
Passed away early after joining a cult, so I heard. Black Rob. What else is there?
Mace is like trying to get his masters back from Diddy and dissolve that situation.
Yeah.
And
Mace turned into a pastor. Then came back.
Pastor went back. He wants to get his masters. Diddy won't sell it to him. He's been like crapping on.
So what's with the bad luck of fortune with all these people?
There's only one common denominator. The D, the I, the D, the D, the Y, the D, the I, the D. It's D.
Good save.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you think it's Diddy?
Do you think the guy's just bad luck? Do you think he's just a shrewd businessman and he's just like, right, once we're done, you're on your own?
Or do you think
he said he had people saying bad boy for life, And it doesn't seem like he was like, it wasn't really Bad Boy for Life, was it? It was Bad Boy until you don't make me some money. And
that's
then
it. That's
you're
it.
on your own.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I think Diddy is like, especially back in the day, and it still probably follows him. Like he's just about the money. He's all about the Benjamins.
Yeah.
I think it should be the D, the E, the V, the I, the L, the D, the E, the V, the devil. Because that guy's like,
what's he spelling out here?
Fam, I thought he's spelling out division.
he's got people signing in blood or something, man. Because all these people, they're just dropping off in it.
Yeah.
So like with two instances, the two sort of recent ones. Firstly, the Mace thing is like that. I think shows just that he cares more about his business than he cares about the person. Because I don't know if Mace is like financially struggling, but one thing is that he said that he just wants he wants to buy back his masters, and Diddy won't let him. Second one is Black Rob, R.I.P. In that somebody has like started a GoFundMe, and they've obviously heard that Black Rob isn't doing too well, and this is very, very recent, and they're trying to reach out to Diddy. And now the sort of conversation said that like, yeah, Diddy did reach out or anything, but like the conversations you hear about, like, I don't know, not to always like bring him up, but like Jay-Z sort of helping out this Nipsey Hussle's estate or doing whatever he does, Diddy seems to like, he'll care for himself. So if there's sort of a separation between him and Black Rob and whatever situation sort of happened after that, you'd think where he is, he could come out and just help Black Rob out. Like, who else needs to really do anything? But Diddy, it's not going to cost him anything. Really.
Yeah, I mean, there's a conversation there where is Jay-Z just helping people out that are good, that are kind of good for his image, like people that are celebrated by the culture already, and is Jay-Z just, you know, boosting his image further by contributing to helping these? And of course, he wouldn't have to, but you know, there's maybe an extra reason for him to be helpful in that point. Whereas, you know, P Diddy's just thinking, this guy's like, caught him smoking crack in the booth, like he's a waste, let me just leave them be, you know, like these kind of things.
But they're also part of they're part of your legacy at the end of the day,
right?
And that's the thing. It's like, yeah, he could be that honest person, like he could be the person who says like, you know, I'm not trying to just jump on whatever is, but I mean, Black Rob's situation could have gone completely under the radar if Diddy decided to just jump in and help at the time, because he surely would have heard of it. And it's you know, like, God bless both of those souls. It's not like a Nipsey Hussle situation where if you see like an article saying Jay-Z's jumped in, you probably think, has he just done that because it's like all over the news or something? It's like, but there was clearly something there between Diddy and Black Rob that may have probably stopped Diddy from saying, oh, I want to actually help him. But I think that's also the point of, he's just I don't think he's I mean, I don't know him personally, obviously. But in terms of like character, he doesn't seem like the kind of person who would actually like want to reach out or help anybody if he doesn't have something that helps him. Yeah.
But you know, with I think there's a lesson learned here whereby don't trust the label executive that
is all up in your videos.
All in your videos, and wants to get in the booth and suddenly rap and say lyrics like, the sun don't shine forever, but as long as you're here, then we might as well shine together. Never mind the weather. They start Diddy bopping in your video. And he says that in like separate, different tracks as well, like it's a bar. Like we're like, oh, Diddy. Puff Daddy, you're killing us with that one. Oh, sun don't shine forever. Oh.
Dude, like, love, you're sick.
Oh, bro, like spit more.
The Locks got out of that situation early, innit?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the Locks got out nicely. Have there, apart from Biggie and Mace first album, because Mace, that one still hurts me, man. Mace is one of the reasons why I'm rapping. So especially that first album. Second album was a huge flop. That was terrible. But
50 Cent said, didn't he, when he tried to rescue stuff like Mace isn't worth $1 million with $1 million in his pocket or something like that.
That's 50 Cent, man.
50's rude, fam.
Curtis.
Awful album.
Yeah, so I think P. Diddy, his ego got so big that he thought he could go in there and start rapping. And you can't. So whose best interest has he got at heart when he's got all these rappers on his label and then he thinks, you know what? I'm gonna continue the legacy of Biggie, and I'm gonna rap myself. It doesn't make sense. But just on a layman's level, that's what I think. I think Biggie is just like, I mean, God forgive me. I think Diddy is just in it for himself, man.
When things go wrong, he will like sort of distance and go back to just Diddy. Like French Montana is, like, I mean, there was a time where French Montana was big in the mixtape era with like Coke Boys, whatever. Diddy's on it.
Yeah,
he's side by side with French Montana. That's
because he's from New York. Yeah,
he's side by side with French Montana. As soon as things slow down, like I couldn't tell you French Montana's even on Bad Boy still.
Is MGK with Bad Boy?
He was until I think he's also sort of left as well. Again, it was one of those where like he was also sort of like brewing up in the scene. He had like a cult following.
That's true, man.
They had like a proper mad Twitter following because one of my like good friends like used to put like laced up gang on their name and stuff. And like
like the white people really were riding for MGK, weren't they?
She was mixed race, so he caught a bit of the black community as well, mate.
Right.
Maybe that was Diddy.
I've seen people like who listen to like Makina Northeast Rave, like you know, they were listening to MGK and stuff.
Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna say something incredibly controversial, and it may come across a bit prejudiced. However, 40, you know, this is not at people like you anyway. I feel like there's a certain demographic of Caucasian people that listen to rap music that need a white savior in rap music, and they'll jump on any person that's rap that can put two words together that's sold a bit, and they'll jump on that one and say, "Oh look, Young Lean," or what's the other one that's on drugs?
What?
Lil Xan.
Lil Pump. Oh
yeah, Lil Pump.
Lil Pump's not
Lil
white,
Pump.
bro.
It's a little something. He's passed away now. God forgive me.
I think he's Latinx, isn't he?
No, I'm referring to some other guy with the tattoos on his face.
Lil Pimp, as Trump would say.
Oh, I forgot his name. He's not with us anymore. God bless the dead.
Yeah, I know who you mean. The emo-y kind of rap guy.
Yes. They'll jump on and that's rap music. That's hip hop. Because he's taking drugs. He's Caucasian. We support it. I listen to these rappers, man, and I'm thinking, what?
What's that guy's name? The guy who passed away? Because people love him.
People love him. And I've listened, I'm like, what? What is this? Should I be high listening to this, or like, do you enjoy it?
Is it Lil Peep?
Lil Peep.
Lil Peep, yeah.
I know what I said was a bit left field, but do you know where I'm coming from?
Definitely. I think like you could look at it from the side of just maybe people want something that they can relate to, exactly. So they see somebody who looks like them and they're like, oh, this is for me now.
Yeah.
And the record labels know that. Like someone like remember Logic? He was like, he basically copied Kendrick Lamar's first album. Like literally copied the entire thing, the entire theme, whatever. Even had like the same sample on one of his songs of like "Sing for Me, I'm Dying First" was like literally there, and people were like, "This is a classic album." And
but you know, Logic's not white though, right?
Oh, he tells us, yeah.
Okay.
But he's marketed, but he's marketed as like that mainstream. I would say like.
Do you think that the record labels take advantage of his lighter complexion to market him to a white audience? And then he's like, no, I'm not white. But people just aren't listening. No, you're white.
yeah, pretty much. He's like literally, like, I think he probably goes like, I'm black. They're like, half. And then he has to go back into the booth and he's like, I'm half black, I'm half white, I'm half black, I'm half white, I'm half black, I'm half white.
Oh, that was so cheesy, man. Oh my God.
I haven't heard it. Did he do a track like that?
Basically, like his entire like first couple of mixtapes and albums, like he kept telling us that he's half black and half white, which is like, you know, that's fine. Like, it's great.
I've just seen an interview. I've not really listened to a lot of his music, to be honest.
It's great, but it just became it did become a bit played out, but like also, but then also there was just like certain things that you could just tell that like the labels are, and you sold a lot, mate. Like he sold like 300K back when like first week sales were like crazy. He would sell a lot for Def Jam. So he's marketed as like the next Eminem kind of thing. Because it's always the next Eminem.
And he's like, I'm not white.
I'm half. He's like, I'm black. They're like, Hef, go back in the booth and put in Hef.
I've listened to his albums. He says a few of them, and he says a whole lot of stuff without saying nothing.
Oh, he's one of them, huh?
Yeah. Cheese steaks and milk.
Cheese sticks.
He just, I'm telling you, 40. He says a whole lot of stuff without saying anything.
Top 3 rap beef in your neighborhood pod versus Logic.
He's retired now anyway, so I guess we won. I see them, they run. Track of the week. Thank you for listening to this special 10th episode of In Your Neighbourhood podcast. Thank you for the people that have been since day one. Since episode -2, because we had a few preludes before the first one. We had to sort our heads out. I'll go with my track of the week first. It's called, let me just pull it up. It's by this rapper called DC. You know, I've been trying to be down with the bands, down with the youths, down with the kids.
Down with the trumpets.
That was a corny track, by the way. Who made that track?
Rizzle kicks.
Oh, Rizzle kicks. Yeah.
Why are you beefing everybody still, man? Relax, G. It's track of the week time, bro.
T's ending this podcast and getting his pen out, and he's going at people in it. He's going to be writing tracks for everyone.
Part 3. No, that's not coming out. It might not.
Do it, bro. Do it.
So, I saw this on my sister's Insta story, and I haven't told her I liked it because, you know, too much pride. But it's by this rapper called DC. Now, it's a very cool track. It's called Paranoia. Check this out.
I'm trying to step out with the bros. Mum keeps asking me questions, but she won't leave me alone. I'm responding with passive aggression. She moves like I'm brandishing weapons, but all now no weapon inside. She moves like I'm peddling white, but just trying to step with the...
Where's this guy from?
Sounds Londonish. I just know him as DC.
Like that.
Yeah, it's a very cool track. And I think his flow is very cool as well. It's been around for a bit now. I think 2 years. That's a long time in rap.
Check him out.
DC, Paranoia. He's got his albums apparently very, very good. And goodness me, he's got a lot of tracks here. I was trying to find his bio, but it's just so many tracks. Goodness me.
Working hard.
Right. So, what's your track of the week, BZ?
My track of the week, going with...
You know what? We'll save yours for last.
All right.
No, go on. Actually,
No. You do.
No, go on.
I just got like the... What's your track? It don't matter what you think.
No, go on. Sorry. Go on. What's your track of the week?
Let's start again. Yeah, going with the special format of beefs. Put all of mine in. I've got Chip Light Work.
Yes.
That's where he started just flaming.
That's Skepta.
The intro's
Stormzy
long, you know.
The intro is long.
Okay, so man ready to hold this track for me. Now I gotta hold this track for you.
Waited for it to kick in and then just right, we're done with that now.
I need to work on my DJ skills like some people out there.
Inside jokes on the podcast, but
what's your track of the week,
40? Before I start another beef.
Beef.
This guy's on smoke, mate. On smoke.
Listen,
bro.
I don't want any trouble.
I'm praying for you tonight.
My track of the week, shout out Black Rob, is Espacio. One of my favourite Black Rob tracks.
Yes.
Dame Espacio. Sick hook.
Featuring Little Kim, the smallest of Kims.
And of course, you can hear P. Diddy on the track.
P. Diddy saying, take that.
all the way.
What y'all riffing about? Hang 'em like they dead in the south. Dead with your dick in your mouth.
R.I.P.
What this shit is
Black
about?
Rob.
Niggas sleeping. Like I won't slip in your house.
He hasn't done a Reading
He's
Rainbow
funny,
track
man.
like DMX, so I can't do a tribute to him. However, shout out Black Rob. Yes, episode 10 in your neighborhood podcast was beef. Beef is when you, yeah. I don't know the rest of it. I can't remember. Episode 10. Yeah. Yo, Reali-T, your boy from Hackney, aka Black Guy in Your Neighborhood, aka my mother's favorite rapper, and this is the In Your Neighborhood podcast, baby.